It's been another massive week in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Aerodynamic facelift the sim is getting in the next Sim Update 8, and we take a look at all the Sim Update highlights, including this week's latest announcements and release news. So let's jump into the video. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator update video. In these videos, we take a look at all the Flight Simulator news and development in one weekly video. Before we jump into this week's video, a big thank you to everybody that is subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for the support. But also, there is 73% of people that watch the Oz Flight Simulator videos are not subscribed. So if that's you, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when our next video goes live. Let's jump into the previews. Kicking off in this week's previews and announcements, and it goes to your weekly PMDG 737 update. This have to be the most anticipated aircraft to hit in flight simulation history. Well, it may not be, but it sure feels like this. Basically, the 737 has entered its beta testing. The announcements come this week from the PMG forums. The captain at PMDG himself, Robert Randazzo, mentioned that the state of the 73 now mostly conforms to a final product. There is still development work that needs to be done, including some 3D modeling and texture work, the TCAS implementation, and external flight plan testing. All the testers have received the aircraft as a beta, and they're basically now putting it through its paces. The two previous shots that they did share this week, one is an exterior one and one is an internal shot, and basically you can see them taking advantage of the night lighting tech when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The average beta test times for which is in the gaming industry can run anywhere between 4 to 6 months. So your guess is as good as mine when we'll see the PMDG 737 release. Let me know what your release day thoughts are in the comments below. I'd love to know. Moving on to the next piece of news, and it goes to the team at Aerosoft this week, asking for some feedback on what next Airbus product the team should develop. The team is currently in development with the Airbus A330, which we haven't heard much since the announcement, but they said their current options for extra products to develop would be more engine options for the A330, or an A318/A319 package, or an A320/A321 package. These have been proven popular with the team in other sims. Do we need to see more Airbus A320s in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, Aerosoft have been criticised in the past for their planes being a little bit more simplified, but maybe that suits the Microsoft Flight Simulator market when it's in built marketplace. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to have your say over at the Aerosoft development, what next Airbus product they should develop for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Other preview news this week, Just Flight this week releases a few new shots of the in development Fokker F-28 fellowship. The team is showing off the latest 3 liveries of the aircraft being Canadian liveries. The Just Flight did provide a small update, mentioning that the Fokker visually is not too far away from being complete. However, the core systems and coding work is yet really to get underway. So it looks like we'll have to wait a little while longer before we see this one in our sims. Moving on to the next piece of news, and it's been a while since we heard from the team, which is Black Box Simulation, this week releasing a little 6-pack teaser of the next in-development aircraft, which is the BM-2A Trislander. The 2A is part of the Islander family and based off the aircraft that many virtual pilots for a Black Box Simulation should know, which is the BM-2. Basically, the Trislander is based off this aircraft. At this stage, no other details other than a 6-pack screenshot, but of course, we will follow any future developments and we'll keep you updated. In one of the big announcements for the week goes to the team at Any Scenes, as they decided to tackle one of the biggest and most iconic airports in the world with their announcement of London Heathrow for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The team haven't released a featured list to what expect in the project at this stage, but they have released a 3-minute video of Heathrow. They did mention that it's not a finished product, so bear that in mind, but from the looks of the video, we should see in the package things like custom jetways, dynamic lighting, iconic control tower, static aircraft such as Airbus A380, just to mention a few. There's no date around the release at this stage, but we're sure to keep you posted on any updates and future developments. Moving on to this week's releases, and the first one goes to AMSim. This week releases their first airport outside of their own country with their latest release of Palermo Airport. Hopefully I said that correctly. Palermo Airport is located in Sicily, Italy, and it's the second busiest airport region, and it serves 7 million passengers a year back in 2019. AMSim doesn't provide much detail in feature list, but it's easy to see from the screenshots provided this is going to be a very detailed version of the airport. AMSim's Palermo, and probably butchered that 3 times airport, is available directly from the marketplace in the sim or over at the Orbex store. I'll leave a link in the description below. And some more airport releases this week. This one goes to the team over at Impulse Simulations this week, releasing their Coffs Harbour Airport. This seems to be the right time to release an Aussie airport, considering the recent World Update of Australia was released not too long ago. Coffs Harbour Airport serves around 400 passengers a year. Even though it's a regional airport, it can actually accommodate large aircraft such as the 767 and 777. Features include 10,000 hand-placed assets, 50 plus custom assets, terminal interior, realistic night lighting, custom animations, and it's compatible with the World Update. You can pick up your copy of Coffs Harbour directly from the Impulse website. I'll leave a link in the description below. On to this week's development news, and it's a big one, and it's all about Sim Update 8. Has it been released? Well, in a beta version anyway. If you don't want to wait for the official release in 2 weeks' time, you can take a look at the beta version, which is 1.23.9.0, and help out and test and provide feedback to Cyber. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can sign up to it if it's still available. Sim Update 8 is being pegged as the update that had to happen and developed mainly to address bugs and issues that have been underlying the sim, such as crashes to desktops for quite some time now. We've seen that there has been some new updates, including feature-wise, that there wasn't meant to be any features, it's just bug fixes, but they've made it in the sim. So let's take a look. Sim Update 8 includes a new AI interface for the marketplace, which now includes a discovery map of the world, showcasing the payware scenery. Very much what like the Orbex team has done for many years now. Now this has been implemented, which is pretty cool. A new private match game mode to the Reno Air Races is now available via the content manager. This is great if you now want to verse your best buddies without any randoms popping in. Stage 1 of helicopters is being introduced with this update, with the optional for a propeller system implementation. The team is currently starting the helicopter development, and they're doing it by using a new prop simulation engine for the simulator. This is available for 3 aircraft in this sim update, which is the Cessna 152, the Cessna 208, and the King Air 350i. This new propeller system will improve prop P factor, feathering, prop drag, and more. We'll talk a little bit about it a little bit later. Another feature for the Sim Update, which is a Spotlight event, a landing challenge, has been added, featuring the Cessna Citation CJ4, and this time it's at the Reno Stead Airport. I guess with all the investment the Cyber team has done that is placed around the Reno content, it makes sense to bring pilots back to the area and also back to the DLC. It when it comes to a feature wise for Sim Update 8, but there is some improvements and some highlights that I did think that was worth mentioning in the changelog. So let's take a look. Several crashes to desktops have been fixed across the title: ongoing performance optimization, lower GPU consumption when installing packages when the sim is booting, lower GPU consumption when the main window is minimized has been improved, improve multimeter visibility ingestion into the sim, improve the time it takes to download live weather, improve the cloud thickness on overcast clouds, fixed the live weather bug that basically said there was no weather when it was at 00 Zulu. VR has had a bunch of bug fixes and improvements, and for the PC version only, when it comes to audio, the main device output and communication devices output can now be managed to form the option in the menu. This is a big thumbs up when it comes to me on that one. Pretty much every default aircraft has a long list of fixes and improvements, and the list is too long to include in this video. Tree animations with the wind has been improved, fixed sunlight glowing above the horizon at midnight has been fixed, the new Toby eye tracker settings menu have been added, and some basic fixes to control for some controls, I should say, including the Honeycomb Alpha, the Velocity 1, and the Frostmaster Hostess has all been addressed when it comes to this sim update. Moving on to the SDK, when it comes to Sim Update 8, the list or the changelog is just as long as Sim Update this changelog was, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go and check out all the updates and options for the SDK when it comes to Sim Update 8. Moving on to more development news. This week we were treated to the first featured discovery video of the year, which is episode 12, and it's all about aerodynamics. The team did give us an in-depth view of how the new propeller system works and how it will affect aerodynamics. It really seems the team is focusing hard on making this sim more realistic and true to real life. Being a real life pilot myself, I'm very keen to see how these aircraft behave in the sim. I'll leave a link in the description for the video if you're into how sim mechanics work, I fully recommend checking it out. It was a good watch. This week we had an updated feedback snapshot and development roadmap. No real updates here on this one apart from Sim Update 8 and the famous fly, which is the Antonov, is on track for a March 4 update, which is about 2 weeks time. This week we've seen 7 new airports, no new aircraft, 10 sceneries and 1 new mission pack to be released around the world in different flight sim stores. Over on the marketplace this week we've seen 29 new products, 15 on PC and 14 of those on Xbox. Out of the 29 new products there were 2 aircraft and they're not new to the sim but they're new to the marketplace. First one is the Iris Simulations, the Grob Totter and also the BT Studios Kit Fox. Both of these aircraft are Xbox approved. So all those Xbox fans out there, go ahead. The rest of the releases were livery packs, which we're starting to see a lot more, and a bunch of airports. If you got this far in the video, thank you very much. You guys are a bunch of awesome aviators. Please sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the content, and also if you're a part of the 73% of people that watch these videos but don't subscribe, please hit that subscribe button, it's much appreciated, and also hit the notification bell so that way you know when our next stream or video goes live. Please stick around, I'm going to put another video here. I think you'll like this one, and I will see you over on that one.